Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a group all the way from Michigan makes its way down to our region to make sure we continue to see relief. And the Kentucky Department of Education announces the exit of an Eastern Kentucky school system from state assistance, marking a big milestone for students and staff.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6:01, it's Friday, and we are happy that it's Friday. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning. Let's go over to Brandon for a look at the forecast this morning. And really, Brandon, I think it's just clouds outside today. Is that what you said, something about clouds?
Yeah, it's cloudy this morning, maybe some sunshine this afternoon. A nice start to the weekend, but it's definitely going to be colder the next couple of days. I mean, we can't stay in the 70s all week. It's February.
We got spoiled.
That's exactly right. But it's okay. Those 50s and 60s be right back next week. But we've got a bump in the road to get to first before we get to that. All right, let's talk about it first. Let's head over to UVA-Y, Southwest Virginia, and you'll see things are fairly calm over there. 36, one of our two spots in the 30s this morning. Cloudy skies, beautiful morning there on campus. 34 in Jonesville is the other spot down the road there, and everybody else is in the 40s, low to mid 40s. The cold front still traversing through the region, so it's going to continue to drop a little bit. I think we get down to right around 40 about 8 o'clock, because usually when you have a cold front still moving through, it takes your temperatures down past 7 o'clock. I do think we rebound, though, to about 52 this afternoon. Maybe a touch warmer if we get the sunshine out earlier. I do believe it'll be late this afternoon, though, before we see some of that. So just stay tuned and stay up to date there. But I can tell you, as we head toward Sunday, some folks are going to be losing on Super Bowl Sunday. And I'm not talking about football teams. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Another disaster response team has traveled across the country in an effort to help those here in the mountains recover from the July flood. Our Jordan Mullins has more with World Renew Disaster Response Services and how they are assisting long-term recovery groups in the Big Sandy.
World Renew Disaster Response Services has made its way to Eastern Kentucky with an important task.
World Renew is located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We have about 1,800 volunteers that go all over. We have several different things that we do, and one of them is what we're doing here, and that's assessing the needs that people have.
This unmet needs assessment will be put into a database and given to long-term recovery groups.
This is going to be critical to our success moving forward to help all those in our community get back to some form of normalcy.
With locations in Pike and Floyd counties, those affected by flooding have been sharing their stories with the group since Monday.
Some people haven't even started yet getting their houses, and they've got mold, and they need floors. Underneath the house needs to be all cleaned up. So there's just so much that needs to be done.
Reaching out a helping hand.
We just want to be able to help them. So we will help in any way we can to try to get folks the help that they deserve.
Making sure no one is left behind. In Floyd County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Floyd County Long-Term Recovery Group co-chair Missy Allen says people in Floyd County can also call the community center at 606-949-1791. You can find a list of World Renew walk-in locations in Floyd and Pike counties on WYMT.com. Well, as of this week, nearly $9 million been awarded as part of the buyout program for flood victims. Governor Andy Beshear announced the total during his Team Kentucky update yesterday. He said the awards account for 51 properties from Perry County, the city of Jackson, and Breathitt County.
On the buyout program, it continues, and this is the fastest we've ever seen a buyout program work. That's when FEMA buys out the property if it's in the flood zone, so someone can use those dollars to move, hopefully, to a safer place.
If you are a homeowner who wants to learn more about the program, you are encouraged to contact your local judge executive or emergency management office for more information. On Wednesday, the Kentucky Department of Education announced the approved exit at Breathitt County schools from state assistance. Breathitt County Board of Education Chair Rochelle Hamilton says she's proud of how far the school district has come in the last decade and how well it has worked together.
We've made a lot of progress. The board team has always worked really well together. We've all had the same goal of student success and doing what is best for students. And I think that's really helped us get through this over the years.
There are now no districts left on state assistance in Kentucky. Well, it's an annual tradition where Kentucky lawmakers, elected officials, and business leaders meet to discuss economic and business legislation during the General Assembly. Thursday night, Governor Andy Beshear continued to tout record economic growth and investments, while Republican leaders who spoke say it is work they have accomplished. Chad Hedrick has some of the highlights from the speeches.
Just a day after House Bill 1, which would further lower Kentucky's income tax, business leaders and state officials met to discuss other legislation for Kentucky's economy.
Since I took office, we have announced more than 800 private sector new location and expansion projects totaling $24 billion in investment.
Governor Beshear's address to the Kentucky Chamber mostly touting the recent successes in business with record investments and growth, while state Republican leaders say that's from work done by them and criticizing the governor's vetoes of what they call pro-business legislation.
The governor did make a great speech, and on behalf of my caucus and the House of Representatives and the Senate majority that sent him all that legislation, you're welcome, Governor, for the material.
House Speaker David Osborne says House Bill 1 was a top priority to, quote, keep millions of dollars in Kentuckians' pockets, saying modernizing the tax code will retain a quality workforce.
You know firsthand the challenges that the labor shortage is causing. Job openings run the gamut, from skilled repairmen to healthcare workers to classroom teachers. And we are committed to identifying ways to help recruit and retain.
Governor Beshear says for him, his priority is to keep the momentum of growth going. Also previewing upcoming projects like the Brent Spence Companion Bridge, which will keep the economy flowing throughout the bluegrass and the country.
I'm going to remain committed to working with you not to pull a state to the right or the left, but to move it forward.
In Lexington, Chad Hedrick, WYMT Mountain News.
Lawmakers from both sides also told the crowd other key issues to watch for. They include the criminal justice system, sports betting, and medical marijuana.
6:08 here on this Friday morning. Thank goodness it is Friday. We are winding down our weather for the week, at least for the next couple of days. But starting next week, it could get active once again. Let's take a look, see what our temperatures are this morning. 30s and 40s out there, so what a difference a day makes there. About 20 degrees or more colder than it was this time yesterday. Some spots more than 20 degrees colder, some spots just less. Looks like Logan, Harlan, and Middlesboro are the least cold from yesterday. I guess that's the best way to put it, because you're 14 in Logan, 14 in Harlan, and 12 in Middlesboro this morning. So it's just crazy how much difference a day will make. Normal day to a little extra on your coffee meter. If you're grabbing you a donut or something as you head out the door to work or school this morning, it's going to be a nice next dozen hours, at least dry and less windy. Hopefully we'll see some late day sunshine. Temperatures will top out in the low 50s. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. Well, coming up, as rescuers continue to sift through the rubble in Turkey and Syria, hope begins to fade as the death toll reaches its devastating milestone.